Be sure to check out All Things Transformers with Steve, Megatron, and TFG1 Mike.
You're listening to All Things Transformers, version 2.0.
Hello and welcome to All Things Transformers version 2.0, episode 22. I'm your host, Steve Megatron Phillips, and joining me in this episode is...
TFG and Mike.
And...
Mirai, would you like to go first?
Okay. Hi, Callie. How are you? I'm Mirai.
I'm Callie. I'm very well. Thank you, Mirai.
Awesome. How are you, Mike?
I'm okay. I'm alive.
As opposed to being dead.
Yes. Ow. My eyebrow is twitching. That's not good.
It's a sign that you've been staring at the computer for too long. You should probably get off.
It's a cue of mental problems.
Says the guy who... Never mind.
Bring that up in a restaurant. Make its head appear.
Talk about bath time with Rubber Ducky.
Okay, children.
The devil.
Callie, what have you been up to since episode 21?
Absolutely nothing new. I've been sewing and doing more sewing.
Yes, and there is Tank Hat.
Yes, the Warpath puzzle that apparently worked out better than I thought it would. Hooray!
Mirai made her other appearance on GCR with her Con Girl segment, and I've gone ahead and told both Callie and Mirai that they're going to be on the Con Girl segment for BotCon, which is less than 30 days away.
Yes, and we'll debut here.
And to let everybody know, we didn't get a say in this. It was, no, you're doing this. And we're like, okay, I guess.
That's how Mike works.
I guess I'll clear my schedule.
No, you got a say in it. Anyways, what else? Steve, what have you been up to?
Well, I entered a contest for a voice commercial, which I did not get. But I do know the person that did, so that was cool for him. So, other than that, I've been working on some secret stuff behind the scenes with Beast Wars Dark Glass. So,
cool.
Yes, I'm seeing some nice imagery right now of Dinobot.
Awesome.
Pre-transmetal and transmetal, and some of the other characters that I cannot mention. So yes, it's coming quite along nicely. I'm liking it. Plus, we're still getting comments on it even after the original debut video.
Awesome.
Yes. Other than that, actually going to record the first episode of the Tabletop Enthusiast this week.
Oh, cool.
So yes. Other than that, anything else for you guys, or?
I don't think so.
Same stuff, different day.
Sorry, Mirai.
You liked what, Kelly?
My life is currently made of fabric.
Well, as is mine. Same stuff, different day. Finishing up Breakdown. I'm getting very close, and I'm really excited.
Fabric and chocolate.
My life consists of fabric and pixie sticks.
Nice.
And meanwhile, Lockdown is in pieces under your desk.
No, he's in pieces in my closet.
Oh, that's
he's
a joke
he's
waiting
a
to happen right there.
He's a closet farmer. That's just where he lives.
So you're saying he hasn't come out of the closet yet?
Not yet.
All right.
Anyways, before this goes left field, I'm gonna say we'll be right back with the news after this.
You know wreckers don't call for backup. They call for cleanup.
Welcome back to All Things Transformers, and first up in the news is the IDW G.I. Joe vs. Transformers Marvel trade paperback. Yes. On Amazon.com, they have updated with a new pre-order for IDW's G.I. Joe vs. Transformers Volume 1, which is Marvel's crossover of the G.I. Joe and the Transformers limited series from issues 139 to 142 of Marvel's G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. The expected release date is September 11th. Wow, that's a weird...
Eerily creepy.
Yes, and the book will run you only $24.99. It says no artwork has been shown yet, but yeah, they're going to have it up on comic book resources. So, in any case,
the IDW logo is weirdly creepy as well.
What is
the IDW logo? I know it's supposed to be a light bulb, but it looks like
an eye.
It looks like a cross between a light bulb, an eye, and a broken hand that is a skull.
I thought it was an eye in a light bulb.
It is.
That's what it's supposed to be, yeah. It reminds me of one of those targets on Legend of Zelda. Those eye targets that you shoot with an arrow.
Yeah. That's so funny.
No arrows to the knee in this show.
No.
Anyways, yeah, I'm kind of psyched about that because then I can buy an up-to-date version of these comics because I still have the original ones from when I was collecting G.I. Joe back then.
Yeah.
I still have the original comics. They're ratty as hell. So I'd like to be able to get new ones that are printed in one complete trade paperback so that I can have them not destroyed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's always good when they do reprintings like this, especially in trade paperback form. I mean, regular single issues of any comic books is great, for at the first, printing. But to get a collection together and put in trade paperback is always good as well.
Thing is, I don't think that this technically should be called Volume 1 because Volume 1 would technically be the original crossover.
Oh.
And this is actually Generation 2.
Oh.
The prequel to Generation 2. I liked the Generation 2 comics. I have most of them, but I like the G.I. Joe crossover. They give Megatron a new body and he backstabs Cobra. So, yay for that.
Well, Volume 1 is probably just their way of numbering the thing instead of saying, Well,
this should have been Volume 2 is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
But, in any case. Any other comments on that one?
Mariah, you got anything?
Not really.
Okay. Moving on, the Transformers Regeneration 1, issue 80.5, they're having a signing May 5th in London, UK. Which, of course, doesn't affect any of us in the slightest, but I just thought it was kind of cool that they're having Regeneration 1 80.5, which I like the original Marvel run. I'm not a fan of the IDW stuff, so this is cool news to see that the original line is coming back for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
To finish it properly instead of mass hanging and then they just left it.
Yeah. People in attendance will be Simon Furman, Andrew Wildman, Stephen Baskerville, wonder where his hounds are, and John Paul Bove. So those will be who will be attending that signing. Those are cool, but like Steve said, if it's, 10,000 miles away in a different, across a whole ocean and in a different country.
It's across the pond.
Yeah. It's not just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
I mean, it could be if you, hit a land speeder or something, but...
Or a snow speeder, or a jet ski, or a hovercraft. Hey, where's Sea Spray when you really need him?
Oh, boy. Too soon.
Really? We didn't even see him. Anyway, that's for later. All All right, so the next one, I'm going to let Mariah take it, but it's about TFCC Twitter updates.
Yeah. The Transformers Collector Club has updated their Twitter with a couple of teases for the fans. One of the announcements that they had was that the membership incentive figure would be revealed at BotCon 2012. One of the things that, unfortunately, this kind of harkens back to an issue that has been manifesting itself over the past couple of months with the club and how they process everything right now. I have a friend who doesn't have a membership at this point, but has paid for the darn thing like several months ago, and still they haven't cashed her check. So she doesn't even know if she's going to get the figure right now. And that's
Hold it then, because I sent in the money. Mine was sent through right away.
She sent in a check and has apparently been calling them, and they haven't really gotten back to her. And she's even asked, she's asked the TFCC Twitter. I don't know if they've responded to her or not, but she's definitely been like, I don't know if I'm getting the figure because y'all haven't cashed my check yet. So what's going on? That kind of thing.
Well, that's some crap.
Yeah, I don't know how many other people are affected by it, but she's my best friend, so I keep real close tabs on what's going on with her in the Transformers world because I'm concerned with her things too. She was also hit with credit card fraud in the middle of that as well, so I'm sure that's all clouding the judgment, I'm sure. But, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting my fingers, my grubby little mitts on that figure so that I can have a run amok and runabout, and I'm not going to call him Overrun because that's retarded.
Yeah. And the second announcement was to basically mention that the upcoming Collectors Club magazine comic by Matt Frank and Thomas Deere, Hall of Fame hopeful Skybite with Jyaxis, or however the hell you say that name, and Cliffjumper with his new recruits. If it's a club magazine, club magazine comic, I'm not joining the club, first of all, because of their system issues. Second of all, it's too costly, and the main point, everyone has said this since I've been podcasting, the main point about the club is to get incentives to actually go to BotCon. I mean, sure, you get a magazine as well and a free figure, but that's the whatever.
Mm.
I have no comment because I never plan to go to BotCon because it costs too damn much.
It's a fun convention, but man, it's expensive.
Yep.
Yeah, I plan to go to TFCon at some point.
Yeah.
In the near future.
Maybe next year for me.
I might be going this year, so I don't know.
Who was it that retweeted the BotCon set cost might go up to $400?
I had retweeted that, and that was actually the Twitter account, not BotCon.
Nice.
At sign not BotCon. I love that account, to little bits and pieces. That guy is awesome.
Before we move to the TF Prime stuff,
Yes.
I saw a particular comment. Somebody posted earlier about it's in Evolution Revolution ...
Uh-huh.
And I replied to said person, and I says, "Is it Beast Machines?" And then I says, "Does it have to do with this particular convention?" They're like, "Can't say anything."
Yeah, we will get all of the details. I will tie that Canadian down and get all the details from him for when we do our TFCon.
Because if it is Beast Machines related, and if I am going, I will be extremely happy.
As will Megatron. Yes.
No, it needs to be darker.
As will Megatron.
Alright, moving on over to Transformers Prime. Zap to It has updated their schedule with new details in the next Transformers Prime episode. Season 2, Episode 9 is titled Grill, and is sounding like it will be an episode focusing on Special Agent... Oh, wait, no, I was gonna say Winston Zedmore, but that's not his name. Special Agent Fowler is the 9th new episode in 9 weeks, airing on April 14th. Transformers Prime Season 2, Episode 9, Grill. Agent Fowler has some explaining to do under the threat of military tribunal and Team Prime's termination. So far, for new episodes that we are getting that we are not covering in this episode of ATTF is Crossfire, Nemesis Prime, and Grill are the next 3 episodes. I'm loving this whole 9-week in a row thing. This is great.
These episodes sound interesting.
Yes, very.
Just the titles, man.
Yes, very, very interesting.
Yes, I'm quite happy to hear what they're doing episode wise so far.
Yeah, as I've said the entire time that I've been talking about Prime, I just absolutely love where the story is going. There may be a few things here and there, but it's not like, hey, do you need me to use my key? It's not like every other thing is a, matrix of leadership type of moment where it's like, here's the MacGuffin of this episode, or here's the bad part about this episode. The story is coming along nicely.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Callie.
I've actually really liked with the more recent episodes, and they have like the artifacts, how the artifacts aren't all powerful, crazy things. Like, hey, it's a hammer that only one person can use and is useless to everybody else. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
And a spark extractor that they never use once.
Oh, God. I was so hoping they would use that because the spark extractor is such a Beast Machines reference.
Oh, yes. Very much so.
Oh, good
With
Lord.
weapons and things that are just kind of there. Like the hammer is now a paperweight and no one really cares.
I can just see that, hammer on Megatron's, chair or desk or wherever. Like, yeah, this is my paperweight to hold down all my important...
He carries it to make himself look cool, but that's it.
Well, he already looks cool. I mean, he has a giant sword and cannon.
It's the squeaky mallet of power.
I wish it squeaked when he hit something. That would be awesome. Like harkening back to animated Bulkhead.
That would not have worked.
Around with his little squeaky
feet. That would not have worked. See, there's the squeak right there.
We are totally out of order here. Let's backtrack a bit, shall we?
I think we're going to take a break, right, Steve?
Yes.
Is that all you want to say about taking the break? You don't want to transition?
No. We'll just take a break
time now.
Right now. Wow.
Intermission!
All Things Transformers will be back after these messages.
Grab your helmets because it's time to assemble M.E.C.H. Coming April 10th, 2012, the Geekcaster Radio Network launches Masked Mayhem with your hosts Optimus Solo and TFG and Mike. This podcast, covering all 75 episodes of M.E.C.H., will feature in-depth analysis of every episode, talk on the toys, and more. Masked Mayhem will run 30 podcast episodes. You can find us in iTunes and on www.geekcastradio.com. Get your spectrums ready, as podcasting is the ultimate weapon.
Hey, Chuck. Hey, what's up, Ryan? You know how we talked about doing a podcast? Well, I have some ideas run past you.
Yeah, what do you got?
I thought we should base it on comics.
Well, there's thousands of podcasts about comics. You kind of want to narrow it down a bit.
Well, what about Star Wars?
Still, there's a ton of those out there. What else you got?
We could always do G.I. Joe comics.
There's still a ton of those out there.
What about the 80s franchises?
There's already a few of those as well.
Then let's forget about comics. Let's focus on toys and action figures.
Dude, then we're back to thousands of podcasts.
Well, is anyone covering all those things I mentioned in one podcast?
No one would be crazy enough to do that.
Then that's what we'll do.
You serious?
Yep. Come and listen to Star Joe's podcast. You can find us at starjoes.com or find us on iTunes.
Yeah, we cover comics, TV shows, and movies based on Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and all your 80s favorite franchises.
And don't forget about the toys.
How can we forget about the toys? We also do toy reviews to help you decide what to add to your collection.
So come listen to Star Joe's, where we hold nothing back, provide quality entertainment, and remember, the Force will be with you.
Because knowing us is half the battle.
Yo, Joe!
You are listening to All Things Transformers. Maximals, maximize!
Breaking news. Huh? Where's Prime? Look, let him know. I just received access to satellite imagery, which I believe pinpoints the center of operations of M.E.C.H. Oh, for the love of... Get me someone who speaks something other than bleep.
I can help.
What? Do I hear a Fuzor in need of voice box repair?
What's a Fuzor? What's going on over there?
I am Adol. Just ask Bantor. He was all mandrill before I put a tiger in his tank.
But B, you heard what Optimus said about leaving the base.
Send the coordinates, Agent Fowler. We'll make sure Optimus gets them.
We are back here on All Things Transformers, and kicking off this double shot of Transformers Prime episodes, we start with Operation Bumblebee Part 2. With Bumblebee on a medical bed, Ratchet tells Bulkhead... What the... I gotta start that off. I gotta restart. God damn it. Oh. Shut up.
Error.
With Bumblebee on a medical bed, Ratchet tells Bulkhead off for taking the Scout into battle. When Bumblebee comes around, he faces Ratchet's ire as well, and Optimus Prime grounds Bumblebee until his T-Cog can be recovered. Ratchet has another idea, though. He offers to donate his own T-Cog in a transplant.
Dun dun dun.
That's right. When he said that, though, when Ratchet said that, and that's where they did the jump cut from the beginning scene to the theme intro. Mm-hmm. I was like, did Ratchet just say he was going to donate himself? Wow.
He wants to mingle some parts.
What?
Ew, now you're just making it gross.
Now you're just writing fanfic.
I feel that yeah, it works. I mean, okay, fine. It's Ratchet's T-Cog, and sad if he donates his, then we don't get to see Ratchet's alt mode anymore. However, dude hardly leaves the base anyway, so it's not like it's gonna matter.
I mean, yeah, unless you have a
point.
Well, unless you have like a case of synthetic energon, he's never leaving the base again.
True.
I think it's pretty much the psychological reason behind the whole, hey, Ratchet should offer his.
Yeah.
He doesn't leave anyway. He's the housewife of the group at this point.
Oh, boy. I'm going to have to have
He's
Musha
always
listen.
takes care of the kids. What else
I
is
am
he?
so going to have to point Musha in the direction of this episode. You just called Ratchet a housewife. Oh, my God.
Okay, no, that is technically what I back Callie up on this. It's technically what he is. He just stands at home and waits for everybody else to tell him what to do. And that's it. He guards the front door.
Hey, Nanny Ratchet.
Freaking do.
I am just waiting for the episode where he waits for everyone to come back and goes, so how was your day?
He's like, well, Nanny Ratchet.
Oh, my God. That's funny. You know what? Even though B is essentially unarmed, he can still fight.
That amuses me so much.
And he did fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have guns, but I'm gonna go whap, whap, whap and smack some humans around, dude. And that's a hard hit. Some of those mech dudes died. I swear to God.
Well, yeah, they would have to.
Some of those mech
squish.
dudes died. There's no way that they survived that.
So back to Ratchet for a second.
Yes.
He's a housewife that kicks ass. All that makes him is someone from Kill Bill.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You just gender bended TF Prime Ratchet into Uma Thurman. Holy shit.
Nice. You'd have to give him Wheeljack swords though. I loved, oh my God, when Ratchet was doing his whole, okay, somebody needs to operate on me thing. He's just like, I'm in charge now. And he has his hands behind his back and he's pacing in front of his subjects. And like when he turns his back on RC and Bulkhead, they kind of look at him. But then the second he turns around, they snap back to attention.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite interesting. I was like, hey.
And the whole controversy with this episode on Twitter was someone mentioned Fusor, and it's like Twitter just exploded. It's like, no spoilers, no spoilers. It wasn't even a freaking spoiler. Ratchet was drugged up, and he said it in his little trance there. I thought that was so awesome.
They stomped at me. And I was being extra vague. I didn't even mention plot points. I didn't even say he was drugged up or anything. I even purposely said something that didn't happen. I just wanted to know if I heard that correctly because Blobcat was meowing over the TV.
Aww. I was actually playing through that part right now, and it was. I liked it when Fowler first appeared. He's just like Prime, and Bumblebee's just like, I'm gonna get it. This is something really exciting. He like runs to the street. He's like, oh, what is it? And that just amused the hell out of me. That Fowler's just like, I don't know what is your thing. And then Ratchet's whole line with the
Give me somebody who doesn't speak beep.
Somebody that doesn't speak beep. I love that he's just like, what's a Fusor?
No.
In that entire 5-second sequence, they managed to make a Beast Wars reference, the Fusor reference, and an Exxon reference randomly. Apparently, Tiger in Your Tank was Exxon Mobil, the gas station, I think. Exxon's, that was a gas station, right? Exxon?
Yeah, it was a gas station.
That was their slogan for a while, Tiger in Your Tank.
Mm-hmm.
See, Tiger in Your Tank, I thought at first was a reference to Tiger Hawk from Beast Wars, but then I realized that had nothing to do with the tank. So, yeah. I know Mariah liked this one. Check out my new Finish Protector.
I love that line. I do. But I mean, back when Knockout brought that thing, I was honestly thinking it was, oh my god, it's another one of those shock sticks that Knockout has. It's another weapon. It's a weapon. It has to be a weapon. He's got it. It's a Decepticon. It's in Decepticon hands. That means it's a weapon. And then it turned out to be a shield, and I was like, that's awesome. And
that was pretty cool.
Seriously,
I love.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Callie.
Is anyone else the least bit intrigued as to why Knockout, who is a very, very pretty mech, and whose name is Knockout, carries a taser on him?
Because he has to knock out all his victims before he can do horrible things to them in fanfic? Ew! No Hannibal Lecter in this podcast, damn it.
I don't want to know, thanks.
X is down there.
No, what I loved when Megatron fired his cannon at Knockout and the shield just automatically popped up. The two Eradicons that are standing behind Knockout, I thought they were regular, I thought they were maybe Iractin and Breakdown and they scattered, but it was two Eradicons, and it took me a second to realize that they were there and then they weren't, and I'm like, okay, where'd they go? So I had to back it up and look at it, and those Eradicons went, oh shit, and ran away. They ran away so fast. Huh?
What'd you say, Callie?
Eradicons know how to run. They have to if they want to stay alive for more than one scene.
Yeah, they're like red shirts in Star Trek.
And this is pretty much how I figured it out. Breakdown, you know this whole pseudo relationship that Breakdown has with the Eradicons? No. He's not friends with them. He's not friends with them. He's, quote, friends with them so that he can shove them in front of cannon fire so he stays alive. That's the only reason he's still in the show, is because the other Eradicons die and he doesn't.
Yeah. The scene going back to the mech plant there, the mech base, when Starscream is basically calling Bumblebee a failure. I absolutely love that Bumblebee just gets right in his face. My note was, Failure this Starscream, wham! He just attacks him all out.
Yeah.
It was so good. So good.
One of the main scenes that I just freaking loved, bringing up another talking point, was when they were with the hammer, was when Knockout and Breakdown were with the hammer.
Yeah.
And Breakdown just straight up, dude, I'm hammering with my hammer to bring Megatron another hammer? Well, is my hammer not good enough for you anymore? So you need this one? What the hell? And then of course that kind of half ties in with Bulkhead's once he grabs it, mine's bigger. And and Breakdown's little temper tantrum.
I know.
His temper tantrum was great.
Oh god, I love the I love that Bumblebee gets his T-Cog back, but Starscream essentially gets raped of his.
He gets surrounded.
That word, didn't you? You had to use that word.
Yes.
He did. He got violated by humans.
I can't imagine that. You just okay, somebody knocks your ass out, and then one of your vital organs is now gone. That's terrifying. That is a scary thought.
Yeah. And I also think it's weird that they can't use weapons unless they have the T-Cog.
Well, because their weapons, if you look at the scene before, if you look at the Starscream-Bumblebee fight, when Starscream has Bumblebee's T-Cog, his hand transforms into a gun. So it's not yes, Starscream has a missile on his arm, or what looks like to be a missile on his actual arm, but the way they do weapons in this show is they transform out of them, so...
That's another part of the T-Cog. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that I keep looking at Silas like Repo Man now.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Just like recycling body organs and just what?
Well, it's just Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's not like Cybertronians have blood type and they have to worry about blood infections with the transplants and organs and T-Cogs.
Mm.
Oh, they just have to worry about waking up in a tub full of blood and have the T-Cog missing, or...
That's a scary thought.
Took your T-Cog! See a doctor on the wall!
I'm actually... I kind of liked how Starscream didn't know how to be quiet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Starscream never knows how to be quiet.
No, I'm really happy that he did not know how to shut up. I have not seen that yet in this show, so...
Go ahead, Steve.
It took more than Megatron to make him shut up.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
A freaking human.
M.E.C.H just do you ever be quiet? Do you ever stop talking? And then he walks away. And then he looks at the other mech dude and he's just like, did I ever tell you that I was the one who extinguished Cliffjumper? And the other mech dude's just like, whatever. And walks away.
I love how Starscream is I love how M.E.C.H just relegates him to, essentially backup. He's like, I'm not one of your soldiers. So funny. I think my favorite, besides the mine's bigger line right after that, is my favorite line of the entire episode. Nuh-uh-uh. When Megatron comes through the space bridge.
That was awesome.
It was. Oh, God.
One of the continuity things, I guess, or not really continuity things, but one of the things that kind of messed me up was the fact that Breakdown couldn't pick the hammer up. Bulkhead could pick it up and had to use both hands, and then Megatron just kind of hoisted it up with one arm. I was like, okay, I know you're supposed to be Mr. Badass leader of the Decepticons, but what?
He's Megatron. You really don't need... His name is Megatron, for God's sake. His name literally means great big thing.
So the great big thing can lift great big things? Oh, that sounds so wrong.
That's what she said.
I don't want to know. Thanks.
What about you, Steve? Overall, what did you think of Operation Bumblebee Part 2?
Well, I really liked it. I also liked the fact that they mentioned some of the 13 original primes, being Solus Prime, the one that made the hammer.
Yeah, the Forge, yeah.
So, I also like the fact that the hammer looks eerily like Ultra Magnus's hammer from Animated.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a direct reference.
Yeah.
Well, just like Bulkhead.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
No, but I think the TF Wiki said that it's a reference.
Oh.
I could see that. I like the fact that Knockout it compares Megatron's results from the failed forging experiment to a Fortress Maximus grade nucleon shot cannon.
Yes.
Which I have no idea what the hell that means, but I like the multiple references included in there of Fortress Maximus and nucleon.
Yes.
I don't think anyone knows what that means.
I don't either.
Whatever it is, it sounds nasty.
It's a Fortress Maximus cannon. That's what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. I liked Knockout's reference to the Grammys in his when whatever the hell that line was about the shield.
The
supporting the best performance of a supporting role goes to Knockout. It's like, you are a fabulous bastard. I love you.
What a tool.
For some reason, this automatically implies that Cybertron at some point had award shows.
And the most evil Decepticon award goes to
Galvatron. Well, the thing about this, and we were going to bring this up a couple weeks ago, I know Mariah wanted to bring it up, was the constant use of human vernacular versus having its own language and culture in this show like Animated did. I honestly don't mind it, but I know you wanted to talk about it, so...
We brought that up.
Did we?
Yeah, we had like a 10-minute conversation about it.
Oh.
We brought that up. What we didn't bring up that I really wanted to discuss was the fact that gigantic green robot that M.E.C.H was building did not actually scan a muscle car with spikes.
Oh.
And I was very sad about that.
I thought that was going to be locked down too, and it wasn't, and I was sad.
I was really happy that I wasn't the only one who thought that.
It had like the green plating on its chest. It looked just like Knockout does.
He had,
in Lockdown.
He had the forest green of Lockdown's chest, and I was just like, oh my god, it's not, no, it scanned a, damn it.
I'm going to take a guess.
I mean,
although,
some random robot made of mismatched parts? Who else?
Yeah, Steve?
I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to, and this is a bit far-fetched, but then again, in this series, it's hard to say. I'm going to guess that Silas is going to move his consciousness into this mech robot that transforms.
Ooh.
That's an idea. One of the... Oh, wait.
Because how else to be a bigger badass than to be a robotic badass?
I don't think that'll happen.
Sorry.
I think it could.
I think it could too, because it'd be a nod to his voice actor.
I have a totally different theory.
What's your theory?
My theory is that after looking at the mech robot and what he's built out of, the very first thing that caught my attention was the fact that this robot had Optimus Prime's shoulder strut. And piecing that together with Mech's not necessarily savory actions at this point toward anybody and upcoming episodes, honestly, I'm thinking Nemesis Prime is what they're building.
Yeah, I agree.
That does make a lot of sense too, though.
Well, it would make sense because, as we said last week, it's not, or not last week, 2 weeks ago, it's not often that Hasbro likes Optimus to be the bad guy. So Mech building a duplicate of Optimus that makes so much more sense to get Nemesis Prime in the show versus having more continuity and story glitches with the actual Optimus of the Autobots. Because we already have so much continuity glitching between his two personalities of Orion and Optimus, so...
It's too much to hope for a Shattered Glass nod with Nemesis Prime, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if they're gonna do a Nemesis Prime nod, they're gonna do it for, the Scourge, all that...
Dream!
Yes, I would love to see a Shattered Glass Optimus in this series, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I can dream like bad fan fiction.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. We're not bringing up bad fan fiction. Anything else on Operation Bumblebee Part 2?
Negative.
Not necessarily, but I guess this kind of goes out to all Transformers Prime shows. I don't know if anybody else has noticed. I mean, I'm sure people have noticed it, but the constant change of the opening sequence is really beginning to bug me.
The opening sequence has been changing?
It changes ever so slightly. Sometimes we will have opening sequences where it shows the kids and all the robots transforming, but sometimes it'll go right from that scene of the Autobots on with the moon behind them to that one scene of Megatron of them fighting the Decepticons. Like it'll skip over the kids completely.
I just assumed that was because of the episode length.
It could be.
Maybe it's that, and then maybe it might be just my sound equipment or maybe it's how it's being played through the TV. I don't know, but there's a couple of times where it's like it'll be the full sequence with the kids, and I can hear Megatron when he's firing, and Starscream when he's firing. I can hear those sounds of the guns being fired, but then on a couple of other ones, I can't hear the guns being fired. All I can hear is the background music. I don't know if that's my sound equipment or if other people have noticed it, but that's just something that I picked up on.
I have something to say of this episode.
Yes.
Beeps.
R2-D2.
Yes, I have a little trouble.
I'm sorry to say, but Bumblebee in Prime is way better than R2-D2.
Sorry, don't shut up. It kind of close. Shut up.
Oh no. Bumblebee has adorable little beeps and boops.
Yeah, he does. And it's something that is added to the show, I think. It's not just a one-off character. Obviously, it's not the radio crap from the films.
I'll give him Dan Gilvezan's voice when they give him his voice back.
We did just interview over on TFG1 Podcast. Michael Wilson and I interviewed Dan Gilvezan, the original voice actor of Bumblebee, and we asked him if he thought if they approached him to voice Bumblebee for Prime, would he do it? I think it would be nice to see it done. However, I don't know if Dan's voice can lend to the kick-ass nature of this version of Bumblebee.
His childish voice might be a little strange.
Is it sad that after Transformers Animated, I can't think of a Bumblebee without a high-pitched, squeaky voice again?
Now, you could have Johnny Young Bosch.
Oh, God, that would be so awesome to have him in Prime. You guys have played War for Cybertron, right?
Yes.
You've heard Bumblebee from War for Cybertron, right?
Yep.
I would love to have him as B in this. That would be awesome. But even if we don't get a voice for B, I'm perfectly, whereas some fans are like, oh my God, this is fucking annoying. I can't fucking stand this. I've watched it for 26 episodes and whatever, how many, 9 episodes here in season 2. I'm used to it. I accept the fact that is who Bumblebee is now. And also, it gives Raph and everyone else something to do. It gives them exposition that they have to explain away. I mean, but now they're not even doing that between Bumblebee and the other bots because, 2 weeks ago when we talked about Operation Bumblebee Part 1, was it Operation Bumblebee Part 1? I don't know. It was one of them things. It was one of the episodes where Bumblebee was saying something and RC was like, oh yeah, loop-de-loop. And she was essentially expositioning for him, but they were also, they made it sound like it was a conversation more so than Bumblebee beeps this and I have to say this. So it's become more fluid.
The Autobots have always been able to understand Bumblebee.
Right.
Raph is just the only one that can understand Bumblebee. The other two still, as far as I understand, can't hear him.
And I like it when they point it out.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, so I think we're going to move on to the next episode.
Prime! What in blazes are your people doing out here? We had an agreement. No collateral damage.
I am sorry, Agent Fowler, but all Autobots are present and accounted for.
Then explain why I'm receiving reports of 2 jumbo-sized bots mixing it up 20 miles outside Omaha.
Decepticons?
There has been plenty of infighting lately. Megatron can't seem to keep his ranks in line.
Well, I'm just arriving on the scene. Have a look.
I don't know.
paint job aside, it can't be Skyquake. You and Optimus pounded him into the ground.
Before Starscream yanked him back out as some kind of undead Terracon. The question still stands. Who's the dance partner?
By the Allspark, it is one of ours.
Wheeljack. Jackie's back!
I don't care if Abraham Lincoln's back. We have to contain the situation before we all wind up on the 11 o'clock news.
And finally up today, we're going to talk about the latest episode of Transformers Prime entitled Loose Cannons. Agent Fowler calls the Autobots furious about another fight with possible collateral damage, though all of them are present at base. Ratchet persists that the fighters may be infighting Decepticons, however a video feed shows otherwise, for the two are unidentified Skyquake-like Decepticon and Wheeljack. Jackie's back.
Dun dun dun!
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and I'm sorry, Mariah, I did not mean to spoil it, but I support the Hub's YouTube channel when they post the clips.
I hate you. Well, okay, I wouldn't have minded it so much if it would have been like, oh look, loose cannons, here's the promo. But hey, in the promo title they went Wheeljack and Deadwing. I was like, what? It's like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? I don't want to be spoiled. So now everybody who favorites that, it now pops up on my Twitter feed, and I'm like, thank you, people. Of course, you know, this is from me coming from a standpoint of I hate being spoiled on a really good show. Even if it's the tiny little promos, I really don't watch them, like, ever. But, however, the stuff in the promos, I can't stop myself. I can't, like, not be spoiled on it because my friends are going to be talking about it. They're going to be theorizing about it, and that's fine. And I can't fault them for doing that because it's not like they're finding the full episode, and going, oh, hey, look, this is what happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, Loose Cannons, what did you think, Steve?
Well, I really liked this episode. A lot of it does, and I did see the reference under the caption, but it does make a lot of sense. It is very reminiscent of deep metal.
Oh, yeah.
In a lot of ways, especially, you know, Wheeljack basically is the depth charge of the group.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So, it was kind of nice seeing him come back and not just be, you know, another one-off. I was really liking that. I like the fact that also Bulkhead and Wheeljack, for old time's sake, you know, went on a Wreckers raid. And I love Megatron's sarcasm when Dreadwing's overconfident and calls in to tell him that he's going to terminate Prime and the two Autobots. And Megatron, after getting off the line with him, says, I will be quite surprised if we ever set eyes upon Dreadwing again.
I can't get the image of G1C Spray as a wrecker out of my head now.
I can't
so
see it.
So tiny and cute and chubby, so I can't equate it.
Oh, that's funny.
I love the name dropping in that.
Oh yeah, there was tons of names.
The name dropping was beautiful.
Like the wrecker thing, and that was such a big last in of the wrecker reference too. It's like the name dropping just one after the other. I was like, oh.
Roadbuster, Pyro, Impactor, Rotor Storm, and Sea Spray.
Does that mean they have an Overlord too?
I don't know. I don't know. It was Rotor Storm, I think, that you might have heard as Overlord. I didn't hear Overlord.
If all those records exist, doesn't it stand to reason if Overlord would as well?
Point, yeah, maybe.
And if they all died, they died in some version of Garrus 9?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the name Garrus 9, but I can't remember what I ate for breakfast this morning.
Mac and cheese.
Ew.
How do you remember what I ate for breakfast this morning?
Because you were like, cook faster, mac and cheese.
Stalker.
No, shut up. She posted it on Twitter. Why is it when Fowler says, you know, I gotta take care of this before we're all gonna be on the 11 o'clock news, the only thing I hear in my head is Retgar from 86, film at 11.
Because that's a good reference right there.
Yes.
One of the things One of the things that I'm actually getting annoyed with Fowler is he's always like he doesn't call the base to be like, hey, Autobots, hey, come here, I got something to tell you. No, it's Prime. Come here, damn it, I'm mad at you.
I'm throwing a temper tantrum.
Yes, it's never anything else. It's just Prime, come here. It's like, no, you're not. Okay, yeah, I get that he's the leader and everything, but it's usually Ratchet that's there answering your damn call.
Well, look at it from Fowler's point of view. His entire job is making sure that Team Prime does exactly what they're supposed to be doing and keeping things under wrap. He is the parent of all these little Autobot children, and the only way to communicate with them is to yell at them.
I don't understand it, and it annoys me. It's really beginning to annoy me.
I gotta get a clearer version of the ringtone in the show.
Oh, that booty boop.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I love Wheeljack's sarcastic wit. Had a feeling the gang might show. I thought that was so awesome.
That was amusing that he was just like, I'm getting kind of tired of this. Doesn't help. I'm not really a big Autobot fan, but I'm kind of getting tired of the ground bridge open up and look, there's Team Prime. Let's everybody strike a pose, and then we move. It's like, really? Can you move now? You're going to be fired upon in like 3 seconds.
I would have loved to see Sea Spray, damn it. That would have been so awesome to see what kind of animation model he would have in this show.
Is it me, or is, except for Bumblebee, they're naming a lot of the characters that die after Minibots? Tailgate, Cliff Jumper, Sea Spray.
They just don't like you, Callie. I think that's what it is. They just don't like your love for the Minibots.
Notice this.
They just don't like your love for the Minibots, that's all. So they're like, grr, Minibots, evil things.
You're short like me.
Well, at least they haven't brought in Power Glide or Cosmos yet.
God, hell no.
If they will, they'll die very quickly, and we'll never see them or how
Cosmos is cool. Power Glide can stay the hell away. I'm glad Sea Spray died. I do not like Sea Spray.
Well, you don't like Autobots in general, but still, it would have been...
I don't like Sea Spray.
Anyways, I love the whole Captain of a Secret Armada thing because it mentions the word Armada, so that I guess you could essentially say is a reference to the Transformers Armada show. No disrespect to Tony Todd, who is the voice of Dreadwing, but at first I so thought it was Blue Mankuma. I so thought I heard Tigatron in that voice.
I am actually very kind of saddened that Dreadwing's voice doesn't carry the same weight that Skyquake's did, because Skyquake's was booming and it was deep, where Dreadwing's was kind of rather normal. And I guess I can understand it from like a continuation point. Skyquake's voice was only... I was about to say Skywarp there.
Yes, you are.
Skyquake only stuck around for one episode, and then he was dead. So I guess from a continuation standpoint, maybe a voice of that caliber sticking around for so long, if Dreadwing is true to his form and being, a repeat offender, if you will.
Yes.
That his voice at that level, at that bravado, might become a problem?
I don't think so, because, as you said, Skyquake's voice was really loud and booming. Dreadwing's voice is more calculated. Yeah. It's more evil, and Dreadwing himself even said Skyquake and Dreadwing were made of the same... They're two halves of the same spark, so they're like twins, but I would equate them to being fraternal twins more than identical twins. So
He's
that
the
way...
Fallen.
Oh, God.
Well, true, but I liked Skyquake. I liked Skyquake's voice.
I know what Steve's talking about. Tony Todd was the Fallen. Yeah.
He was.
I know.
I am honestly surprised that no one either died or left the planet in this episode. That
There were
honestly
no
seems to be like a
character
running theme.
I don't know. I think some of those storage wars people and storage hunters died when those storage containers went up.
But they were explosive.
It's a reality show reference.
What are
Maybe they'll stop filming now.
I'm retarded.
Maybe they'll stop filming now.
No, I like that show.
Boo.
I don't understand at all.
It's okay.
I like that show. You can't kill that show. Except for that retarded guy that shouts, "Yep."
Dave Hester.
Don't like him at all. He needs to shut up.
Yes.
Thanks, Waspinator. You are now my favorite.
Wreckers, they don't call for backup, they call for cleanup.
That was a good line.
That was such a good line.
And they then laugh like complete pros.
Yep. And the last note I had was kick-ass vehicle mode. I can't wait to see Wheeljack in future episodes.
And he didn't shake Prime's hand.
I like that he was just like, oh my god, no.
That was like a depth charge moment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can so see Wheeljack as the depth charge of this series.
Next thing you know, they'll actually bring in depth charge to be the depth charge of the series.
Nah.
One of the things that...
Yet another wrecker!
Wreckers, yes, I like wreckers. One of the things that kind of, I don't know, amused me... Yeah, no, totally amused me was the fact that Dreadwing essentially had a cell phone.
Yes, exactly.
He essentially had a GPS unit-enabled cell phone. I was like, what?
That's so funny. I know a lot of people complained when Skyquake showed up that in his robot mode, he already looked like a jet. And I know a lot of people probably are going to complain about the same thing with Dreadwing. The thing of it is, though, when these bots that come onto Earth and they don't have Earth-based vehicle modes, they had some other vehicle mode, and you have to have that look like whatever they're going to scan. I think when we actually start the full-on Transformers Primetime review show a couple years down the road, we're going to have a Fowler count of how many fucking times he has gotten scanned for vehicle modes.
That poor guy.
It's like, oh no, not again.
One of these days, one of those scans are going to end up with the miniature Fowler in the seat with him.
Yeah.
A little hot Fowler just there.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Wheeljack is on Earth to stay. I mean, he did take an Earth-based vehicle mode, so here's hoping. I mean, he still has the Jackhammer, but I love the name for that ship, the Jackhammer. It's so much better than the toy's name. The toy's name is it's not the Skyhammer, it's the, oh god, what is it? It's something else. I tweeted about it earlier. I don't know, I like the Jackhammer name better for the ship. Callie, any other thoughts on loose cannons?
Nope.
Mariah?
One of the things that I kind of thought was LOL worthy was when Prime went to go save Wheeljack. Like after they had left, they're like, okay, Wheeljack or Bulkhead has moved from your current location, so Wheeljack stuffs Prime in the jackhammer, and it reminded me of Nappa from Dragon Ball Z with one of those little Namek space pods, and he's like stuffed in there. That's what it reminded me of, and he's like, I like that Prime was like sitting there like tapping his fingers on his knees.
Yeah, he's kind of like all hunched over in the seat. Oh god, that's so funny. But again, these little bits, that whole scene with Wheeljack and Optimus, and Wheeljack just saying, after the wreckers scattered, it was better to be alone than with a team. So I love how they build those little storylines into it. The only thing I will really mark against this episode, it is essentially a single story episode. There was no reference to anything that happened in Operation Bumblebee Part 2, kind of like, hey, where's the hammer now? And I mean, I guess Optimus kind of wrote that off by saying, only a Prime can take charge of it. But you would think that Soundwave would be trying to figure out a way
Mm-hmm.
to get use of the hammer. I don't know. I would say that's the only real mark against loose cannons for me, was that it fits into the overall continuity, but it's more so, it's not a one-off as in the sense of a bad one-off episode. It's more so just, it's there. I loved it. It was great. I thought it was a great individual story, but it really added no continuity to the overall storyline.
Yeah, I can see that. To some extent.
Yes.
Anyways, is that it?
Yep, that's it for the episodes this week.
I had a minor detail issue.
Okay.
Yes.
Or, not really a detail issue, but you know that 3D model clipping that sometimes happens when something gets too close to something else?
Yes.
Dreadwing's gun did that. Like, it was just a minor detail. It popped up while I was watching it a little earlier. It was just like he swung it around, and apparently it got too close to the camera because the tip of it blipped out. The tip of it became nothing. It disappeared for a second, and then it came back in. Little 3D animation model issue. That's the first time I've ever seen it happen. I have no idea if it's happened in any other episodes, but
I'm sure animation glitches like that will happen, though. I mean,
well, yeah, I'm not faulting it or anything for it happening.
Oh, right.
But it kind of caught me. I was like, hey, that's kind of doing something I expect from a video game, not from a TV show. But okay, I'll take it.
Awesome. So
Yes,
I think that's it.
So, what are you guys looking forward to in the Transformers fandom this week? Or
Callie?
What?
What are you looking forward to in the Transformers fandom this week?
Is Transformers Prime episode a good answer?
Yes.
What else is there?
Right.
I'm looking forward to seeing more BotCon news, not because I despise them or anything, which I kind of do, but it's actually more of the fact of, hey, looking forward to news because I am still going and because it's slowly creeping up on me. Looking forward to, let's see, Masterpiece, those new Masterpiece figures, the new Hearts of Steel Seekers that are coming out. Definitely looking forward to those because I need to get my grubby little fingers on a Skywarp. Other than that, just general news. Waiting to hear what's going on.
For me, Transformers Prime. I'm just looking forward to each new episode every week. What about you, Steve?
For me, I'd have to agree. It'd have to be Transformers Prime. I don't really collect anything, so I don't have any reason for anything else. And looking forward to more TFCon news, of course. So,
yes.
But other than that, anything else, guys?
I think that's it.
I think we're solid.
Alrighty.
Oh,
no,
there's
R2D2.
Nice.
We need more Bumblebee beeps up in this ice.
Yes, that's how Bumblebee talks.
Yeah, but he talks in a cuter way than R2.
R2's like barf, 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 barf.
Hey,
like
you
that.
leave Barf alone. Barf has a tail.
Barf is awesome.
That's a cool movie.
That is a cool movie.
Anyways, if you'd like to leave feedback on the show, there are many ways to do so. First, you can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. Second, you can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching Geekcast Radio Network. You can follow us on Twitter at Predacon Empire. You can also ask Megatron questions at BW_Megatron. My Twitter name is at SCP21. What are your Twitter names?
TFG and Mike.
Mirai Baby.
Callie Carey Shoka. It is long and hard to spell.
Join us next time when we discuss Transformers Prime Season 2, more episodes of that, and, of course, more Transformers news worth mentioning. So for now, I'm Steve Megatron Phillips with
TFG and Mike.
Mirai.
I'm Kelly.
Yay!
saying in the immortal words of Beast Wars Megatron,
excellent. Yes.
Rubber Ducky, you're the one.
Rubber Ducky, you're the one. Where the devil are my panties? Thank you for listening. Until next time. Oh, yes.
Yeah.